Right now, India's former foreign minister and also veteran BJP leader Sushma Swaraj has passed away at the age of 67. She was admitted to Delhi's AIIMS hospital after she suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. Now, Sushma Swaraj served as India's Minister for External Affairs during the years 2014 till 2019. This, of course, was Prime Minister Narendra Modi's first term as the Prime Minister. She also earlier had served as a minister under the former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee as well. Now, Sushma Swaraj had a stellar career. She also served as the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha during UPA 2 as well. Now, she had a slow but a steady rise in politics. She was in fact one of the youngest politicians to be sent to the assembly in the state of Haryana. Her family had a solid RSS background, but her tryst with politics started with socialist parties. Now, subsequently, she also shifted to the BJP. Now, Sushma, in her first avatar, was considered to be a conservative face of the BJP. But there was more to the woman than what politics of her time wanted her to be. Yes, she of course created moments for the Indian right, but her independence as a leader was unquestioned. She was forthright and enjoyed great equation with the Congress, and when the Congress was in power for 10 years, she was the only politician, or rather one of the few politicians, who enjoyed a close bond with the UPA chairperson Sonia Gandhi. Now, Sushma Swaraj was also a wonderful orator. Before being taken to AIIMS, she had tweeted about the historic decision of Lok Sabha passing the bill to abrogate Article 370. On Tuesday evening, she was admitted to the AIIMS hospital, and senior BJP leaders immediately rushed to the hospital. Now, Sushma Swaraj, like Arun Jaitley, are a few of the leaders who have an old connect with the BJP of the old, of the Vajpayee era. Now, these are, of course, live visuals coming in from in front of Sushma Swaraj's residence. Now, her body is to be taken from her residence to the BJP headquarters, where people will be allowed to come and pay their last respects before it is cremated. We're given to understand at about 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And my colleague Nagain Singh is joining us from outside of Sushma Swaraj's residence. And Nagain, this has of course been a sudden loss. No one was expecting it. The fact that Sushma Swaraj was not keeping well was something that was well known. But the news of her being taken to the hospital yesterday at about 9 p.m. and subsequently of her sudden death, this has of course been a huge loss for the nation.
What all you see here is that behind me is the convoy which is going, and the mortal remains of Sushma Swaraj is just passed from here, and it will be taken to the BJP headquarters. And there already people have gathered in huge numbers to pay their last respect to their one of the favorite leaders. And here what we saw, that many people from the cadre from BJP and many locals who live here, they all participated in this last ride, and they all are there walking with that vehicle which is moving. And of course the media is also behind covering the entire event, and there are few BJP leaders as well who are part of this procession, and they all will be going to the BJP headquarters, where her mortal remains will be kept for another 2 to 2.5 hours, so that other leaders could come and pay their last respect. And after that, the mortal remains will be moved. The funeral will go towards Lodhi Road, and there in the crematory the rituals will be concluded.
Absolutely, indeed. And also, Nagain, considering the number of leaders who came to pay their respects since this morning, it quite clearly points to the fact that Sushma Swaraj was one of those rare leaders who, despite the polarizing times that we live in, had managed to be someone who was friendly with every party. She was someone who was approachable, and she had connect with every party out there in getting the work of the House done in the Parliament.
Indeed, Saleh, she could strike a chord with everyone, and that is the reason that most of the political party leaders, they said that she was like sister to them, and they called them her brother. So even if it is Ghulam Nabi Azad or any other politician, most of them were very close to her. They were in regular touch with her, and that is the reason that we saw that many of the leaders, they came with heavy heart, and there were tears in their eyes. So it was not just the political contacts that they had, but it was the personal contact that they shared with this leader, and this is the reason that we see a huge crowd which has been moving with the mortal remains of Sushma Swaraj. And when we talk about the people who have gathered here, so she has touched many lives while she worked, because she opened ways for people to get in touch with the External Affairs Ministry, which was a difficult task in the past. But what she did with Twitter and other social media handles, she brought them closer to her. She was in touch with them, and whenever they needed her, she was always there. It was not that they had to contact someone else, but it was directly the minister contacted them personally. And even if she did not work in UP or Bihar in any of the assemblies, or she has no local contact, but people are really close to her. And even the politicians from all these states are gathering at BJP headquarters. Yogi Adityanath is also arriving there for paying the last respect to her. So overall, everybody has contacted the family, and they have spoken with her husband, and they have paid their tribute, they offered their condolences. And overall, it seems that she is one of the most respected leaders that who has left us. And everyone from Delhi, if we talk about even Arvind Kejriwal, he was also there with Manish Sisodia. So they may have different opinions for politics, but when it comes to personal relationships, she maintained it well, and she was close to most of them, and she shared a very cordial relationship with all of them.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Nagain Singh, for joining us and getting us as to what is presently happening where we saw the convoy. The body of Sushma Swaraj is now being taken to the BJP's office, where the BJP supporters and well-wishers and all those people who felt a connect with Sushma Swaraj will be able to come and pay their last respects. We saw earlier in the morning many leaders from across party lines who were at Sushma Swaraj's residence to pay their last respects. And also we are joined on the broadcast by Mr. Javed Faisal, who is a former deputy spokesperson and also the Afghanistan office's CEO, who's joining us live from Kabul. Mr. Faisal, let me begin by asking you this. Now, considering the very dynamic manner in which Sushma Swaraj handled the foreign ministry, this is a huge loss for Indian politics, but also the legacy that she has left in India's foreign affairs. How big of a legacy do you think that is?
Thank you. First of all, let me condole with the friends, family of Sushma Swaraj, and of course with the government and people of India for this sad demise. She was a good friend of Afghanistan, and we share the grief of India. She wasn't just a very good politician, but she served and she set a new example of statesmanship. She set a new example of service for the people. I was one of those people who always followed her on Twitter and enjoyed the way she interacted with the Indians all across the globe. So she set very high standard of governance and connection with the people in the way how things have to be done in modern day governance, the modern day elections, in the modern day politics. So she was a good example, of course, for many in India, but definitely for many as well in Afghanistan and elsewhere in the world. May her soul rest in peace, and may Indians find same loyal daughter again.
Absolutely indeed, Mr. Faisal. Do continue to stay on with us. Meanwhile, I'm told that we're also joined in by Veena Sikri, who is an ex-Indian envoy to Hong Kong, who's joining us from New Delhi. Ms. Sikri, thank you very much indeed for joining us on this broadcast. Let me begin by asking you this. Now, Sushma Swaraj served as the Foreign Minister of India between the years 2014 till 2019, and many say that in many ways she changed the face of what the Foreign Ministry did for the people of India. It made the Foreign Ministry more accessible, where one could in fact get help right from the Foreign Minister herself by just putting out a tweet. How important do you think that is, considering the fact that there were so many Indians who in fact reached out to Sushma Swaraj whenever they needed help, no matter where they were stranded?
I think that first of all I would of course like to convey my deepest condolences to the family of Sushma ji, and to say that we have really lost a wonderful leader, a wonderful Minister of External Affairs, a wonderful person. And I think that what she did in the Ministry of External Affairs as the minister epitomized her personality.
Absolutely.
She was an elegant and gracious personality. She epitomized it through the way she dressed elegantly, representing the best of Indian textile traditions, the way she spoke to other leaders, the way she reached out. It was a comprehensive personality. She embodied in herself the entire civilizational heritage of India.
Absolutely.
And she did not exclude anybody from the ambit of her contacts and her reaching out. Now, in the Ministry of External Affairs, I think this has been a great and lasting impact, because she really epitomized soft power projection. She really epitomized it. She believed in it, and she actually practiced it. Now, it's very rare for this kind of focus on soft power projection that Sushma ji brought to her work and her 5 years as External Affairs Minister. This has been unique, because nobody has reached out in the way she did to every individual, and for India as a whole, to the highest political leaders, prime ministers and foreign ministers and presidents. And she did it because she really believed in it, and she meant it, and she knew that the image of India has to be a comprehensive one. Of course, we are always very polite and kind when we speak to high leaders, but she was the same comprehensive, elegant personality when she was interacting with a person in distress, or she was helping a group of students, or she was helping Geeta, the young person caught
Absolutely.
in Pakistan, and bringing her back to India. So she had this absolutely comprehensive approach, and I've heard her speak on India's civilization heritage, on Sanskrit, on Hindi, on soft power projection, and she really meant it. Making a speech is one thing, but showing it through your everyday work and personality is entirely another. And she said one thing which touched the hearts of all Indians and everybody living abroad. She said the Indian embassy or Indian consulate, wherever you are, should be like a second home.
Absolutely.
Now, this aspect of welcoming everybody into the Indian embassy, whether a person of foreign origin or a person of Indian origin or an NRI or a PIO, that person should receive the same welcome. And this is vital, particularly when we look at the Indian community abroad, because the second generation of the Indian immigrants abroad, that generation is very important. They are the ones who are living abroad. They don't know India very well, but we have to get them to reach out to us and reach out to their friends in foreign countries. And Sushma ji, by her efforts, by her absolute focus on bringing everybody into the ambit of foreign affairs, made a tremendous impact. She will be greatly missed, and I really wish her soul rests in peace and her family has the courage to bear this tremendous loss.